Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I wanted to go over real quick what my next and final video on this topic is going to be. A long time ago, about a year or two ago, I would say 2 years ago, I did a video called Carl Jobs is Wrong, This Stick Can Be Read. And the reason I did this video was to explain to Carl Jobs, in support of him, not Billy, in support of him, fully, I wanted him to solidify his case to where Billy couldn't weasel his way out. Now, before I knew any of this, at the time, I thought the defamation case was regarding cheating. I didn't know that it was for the suicide blame, which in the very same video, which is currently called, I relabeled it from Carl Jobs was wrong to Robert Childs is wrong, the stick can be retrofitted, to now it's just saying straight up Carl Jobs misled. So, if anyone wants to go look at that video, I do encourage it. It is currently public. I just swapped it from unlisted to public. I never actually deleted it. I had a lot of horrible, horrible comments in that video. I had death threats, everything at the time that I had gotten it from Carl's Jobs fanboys. I don't understand why this kind of behavior was acceptable for some people on YouTube. It's not something I agree with. But to go over real quick and real short as possible, at the time that Carl Jobs responded to that, rather than reach out to me directly and talk about it, he labeled me and lumped me in with Van Buren as a Billy sycophant, which, for those that don't know the definition of a sycophant, is essentially that of a puppet, an obedient puppet, which I never supported Billy Mitchell ever since 2018. I've been doing this longer than Carl Jobs. I worked with Apollo Legend. I'm going to have a video come out soon that is going to have about a dozen of my DMs with Apollo, ones that have never been seen before, and go over a couple things, but namely, if you look at this, there's Carl Jobs. I have him added as a friend, and if you look at members, look at the date, February 14th, 2024. You mean to tell me that he's been doing videos since 2021 of Billy Mitchell for 3 years, and he only just then, out of 14 months ago, joined Apollo Legends, his Discord, to go around and start asking the big questions, the ones that would support him? Because if anyone was against Billy Mitchell, don't you think it would have been the people that were in Apollo Legends Discord in the first place? I mean, that's where most of the info came from in the first place that he was looking for. I don't know if maybe he didn't know there was a Discord. I mean, that's entirely on him. But you think if you were looking around for information for 4 years, you'd eventually break your way into the Discord? Or, I don't know, ask somebody who was doing videos prior? I mean, I have interview videos that are public of people like Rudy Ferretti, who was kicked out of TG, who had all the fucking things about Twin Galaxies in the first place. There was a lot of things that just didn't seem right initially. But let me go back here. I'm just going to go and briefly touch upon this before I head out, because I have some stuff to take care of, and I plan on making this video, and I just don't currently have the time. I'll be uploading it sometime next week to explain it real short and simple to all the angry Carl fans that, 2 years ago I just recently responded to in the last week. I'm well aware that the lawsuit was for blaming suicide and not cheating. The thing is, on the video, I go on to state that I'm well aware of how I feel about Carl blaming Billy Mitchell for suicide. I basically stated, dude, I don't fully agree with it. In that video, I state I don't fully agree with it. It's not something that should have been said. And it definitely could be held against you. And you know what? Look what happened. You can't blame somebody for murder online. There's a repercussion for that. I'm not going to call someone a school shooter on a platform and then expect nothing to happen. There are legal repercussions for damaging someone's image like that. Now, let's look at this from the other aspect that I was looking at the time. What if the defamation case was about cheating? Now, I was trying to help Carl. The stick could have been read from a radar scope conversion kit. There were images and articles online suggesting the existence of one. I still think there is one. Haven't been able to find one. But the one thing that Carl didn't do at the time when he first initially released the photo, he didn't have a model number to back up the statement and see, all right, is it a 4 or an 8-way, which 8-way you could cheat, 4 you couldn't. But then it wouldn't even matter even then because Twin Galaxies allowed it retrofitting. And what retrofitting is a different setting or controller being accepted into the same track because of technicality. This is one technicality I'm going to explain. A legacy scoreboard. Now, a legacy scoreboard is when they receive scores, but they don't know what category it was under, if it was under a faster setting, a slower setting, a different control setting, whatever. Be it dip switches, controllers, arcade sticks, whatever. Trackballs, it don't fucking matter. They did it all. It was all considered player's choice. So, even though if the stick was red, or any stick, it could have been a fucking Barbie doll in the goddamn machine. It wouldn't have mattered. They still would have allowed it. Deadass. Under special circumstances. I mean, they had Isaiah Johnson have a live-in referee named Lance Eustache who worked for Twin Galaxies as a referee and had referee-verified scores. This is stuff that Karl Jobs has never gone over. This is stuff that I know. This is stuff that, Apollo and me found out via interviewing dozens of people. Going and talking to dozens of people. Frico, Patrick Scott Patterson, Richie Knuckles, fucking, the list goes on. There's dozens of people that along the way of my time since 2018 investigating this, I became friends with them all. All it would have taken is one. You could argue, well, why didn't you reach out to Karl Jobs earlier? Well, if I would have, if 2 people in there, more than 2 actually, if there wasn't a couple people in his server that me and Apollo had a problem with, that were feeding us misinformation and causing a shit show for nothing. And unfortunately, Karl got duped by these 2 idiots. I put them in the thumbnail of my video. It's Cat Despira and Ursat Cats. Those 2 are the biggest fucking piles of dog shit ever. Ursat Cats is an idiot for fucking attacking the judge and just making Karl's case worse. And then fucking Cat Despira sprinkles lies everywhere she goes. She might as well be the Twinkle Toes of fucking lying. Anyway, I digress. I mean, she shitted on fucking Rudy Ferretti after he died. And manipulated his IMB profile to talk about his, his murder-suicide, which was a total accident. It's fucked up. But anyway, I digress. This is going to be my last video on the topic. I have the hard drive. I'm not releasing it. Well, rather, it's not in my possession. I could get it if I want it, but you know what I mean. You know what the fuck I mean. I'm kind of fed up with this. I really am. I've seen enough fucking stupidity for one day. I'm gonna quote myself now and later on, and I won't give a fuck. This is something that has irked me for the last, 4 years. And it needs to be a wake-up call. Just look at the join date on Apollo Legends Discord. February 14th, 2024. You mean to tell me it took you 14 months later? Not even 14 months ago, and you've been doing videos since 2021. That just doesn't make sense. Surely you would have reached out to some people that were connected to Apollo in some way, but only just then to get in there is crazy. And I was a mod in there. I'm going to reveal conversations that I've never shown the general public. Because I want to. I want people to know. I want your fans, Karl, to know that I wasn't a sycophant, as you labeled me 2 years ago. Because some of them still think that I'm some fucking Billy Shill or some retarded shit that you slap this label on me with. When I've been against video game cheating for years. I have records on Twin Galaxies. It's not right. So I'm making it right. That's what the point of my next video is, and then I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe throw a joke with Van Buren in it. I don't know. It's whatever. You know what it is? It's just... I'm mad about this whole fucking thing. There's 2 GoFundMes. They're not even for what the fuck they're supposed to be. Notch is somehow fucking involved, even though, really, relevance. Like, you know, fuck it. Honestly, fuck it. I'm annoyed.